In my last video, we talked about recognizing your calling. In an earlier video, I introduced what I called the 7 stage leadership journey, where stage 2 is all about recognizing the work you may be uniquely called to do. Today, I want to answer a question I hear quite often. Do I have to change jobs to pursue my calling? My answer might surprise you. The answer is no. In fact, you can begin moving toward your calling today, right where you are. About 20 years ago, my wife Lisa and I were living in Hillsborough, North Carolina. One beautiful fall Saturday morning, I can remember it. We were standing on our front porch by our white rocking chairs when Lisa said, "Paul, we need to talk." And she added, "You might want to sit down for this one." Got my attention. She looked at me and said, "Ever since you took this new job, you've changed. You fly out every Monday morning, you fly home every Friday afternoon, usually late, and you're exhausted. By Saturday night, you're finally recovering, and by Sunday afternoon, your mind is already back at work." And she said something I'll never forget. "Paul, I barely recognize the man I married." Paused, and she said, "Something has to change." I said, "You're right. What needs to change, Lisa?" She smiled, looked me in the eyes, and answered me, "Your job." At the time, I thought she meant I needed a different employer. She didn't. What she really meant, though neither one of us fully understood it at the time, was that I needed a different relationship with my work. Think about that. A different relationship with my work. I had slowly drifted away from the work I was uniquely meant to do. We agreed that I would spend the next week reflecting before we talked again. Looking back, that conversation changed my life. Not because I immediately quit my job. I didn't. It changed my life because I started listening again. For the first time in nearly 10 years, I stopped drowning out that inner voice. I began to pay attention to the deeper promptings I had ignored while chasing deadlines, promotion, constant travel. That simple decision became the beginning of a completely different journey, and I might add, different destination. A book that helped me along the way to make sense out of all this. It's called Make Your Job a Calling by Brian Dick and Ryan Duffy. They describe 3 different ways people tend to relate to their work. Think of this less as kind of categories and more as a continuum. A job says, I work to live. Work provides a paycheck. It supports the people and activities I love. There's absolutely nothing at all wrong with that. The career says, I want to grow. I want more responsibility, more influence, more opportunity. I'm developing my skills. I'm building a future. Calling says, this work matters because it serves something bigger than me. Yes, I still earn a paycheck. Yes, I still want to grow. But what gets me out of bed each morning isn't simply income or promotion, it is purpose. Here's the encouraging part. Dick and Duffy argue that these aren't fixed destinations. You can move. You can move your work toward greater meaning. You can move the needle. Here's a simple exercise. Imagine a dashboard for the work you do that looks like this: a job, career, and calling. Now ask yourself 3 questions. First, where are you today? Not where you wish you were, where are you honestly? Second, why is your dot there? What's contributing to that experience? Third, where would you like your dot to be in a year from now? Not perfection, just movement towards the future. Now, here's the most important question. What one small step could you take this week that would help you move your dot just a little further to the right? Because, now listen up, calling usually doesn't happen all at once. It grows one faithful step at a time. Over the years, I've noticed 5 signs that often appear when people begin to move toward work they're truly called to. As I read these, notice which one resonates with you. First sign, you become aware of a problem, a challenge, or an opportunity that keeps inviting your attention. Second sign, part of you wants to ignore it. Your inner critic can get really loud, yet somehow you still feel drawn toward it. Third, as you continue reflecting, something begins to change. The fear doesn't completely disappear, but a deeper sense of peace starts to emerge within. Fourth, you realize you aren't fully equipped to do what you're being called to, big time sometimes. You need to learn, you need help, you need other people. Fifth and finally, once you decide to move forward, people begin to show up. It happens. Opportunities appear. That happens too. Doors begin to open, not because it's easy, it's not, but because it begins to flow. So, which of these 5 signs feels most true for you? Here's what I hope you remember. You don't have to quit your job to begin living your calling. You could start today, right now, right where you are, by taking one small step that moves you toward greater meaning. Because calling, in my opinion, isn't something you suddenly find one day. It's something you slowly move toward, one decision at a time. I've been moving in that direction for a couple decades now. And today I am more aligned with my calling than any other time in my career. Right now, I often tell people I am doing the work I love with the people I love for the people I love most of the time. And to think it all started more than 20 years ago on a front porch in North Carolina with one difficult conversation, thank you, Lisa, and one small but very important decision to start listening again. If this message resonated with you, I encourage you to download the 5 signs of your calling below. It will help you continue to reflect on what might be stirring in your own life. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. And if you'd like to talk with someone to walk alongside you as you clarify your own leadership journey, I'd be honored to talk with you. You can book a discovery call using the link below. Thank you for watching, and remember, you were created for work that matters. And every small step toward that calling matters too. Until next time, lead well.